Cloud is forever.
Yeah, but I like to see the little file pop up on my screen so I know exactly where it is, as opposed to a cloud. And I was like, oh my God, we just talked for an hour and 42 minutes and now I can't find anything.
Oh, that Law and Order material is lost forever.
I don't think we'll be talking for an hour and 42 minutes about this episode.
I don't know. It's kind of garbage. Usually the garbage episodes are the best ones.
I love this episode. I've already given it a rating.
Ben loves it. Now, we're talking about Star Trek, the episode Deep Space Nine called The Muse. Oh, there's a Muse episode, a Voyager episode too. I wonder which one will be better.
This one.
Yeah, this one, the Voyage episode, Torres is stranded in a Greek-like society on an away mission gone wrong. That episode sounds stupid.
But the episode that they talk about on that episode that we never get to see is way better.
Really?
No, I'm just making a guess. Just go ahead and mark that as my prediction.
The Voyager episode, blah, blah, blah. They're watching a play in a stone amphitheater. The main characters are Torres and Harry Kim, and they are on an adventure seeking dilithium when they are in a shipwreck. This already sounds bad. All right. I think this Muse might be better.
Yeah.
The Muse. So. Yeah.
They basically inspire a play. Did you ever see Thor Ragnarok yet?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, you know at the beginning how they're retelling the death of Loki?
Yes. It's like that.
That little play within a play.
So this is what that is. It's a play within a play.
Yeah.
I bet it's not as good.
Garbage.
It's not nearly as good as the Death of Loki play starring Matt Damon.
That episode does sound better than the Voyager episode where the where the holographic computer becomes a rock star on some planet of math. And he
hasn't become a rock star. He becomes an opera star.
I know, but that shit is whack, son. This shit's whack.
I love me some opera.
That was the worst episode of Star Trek I think I've ever seen.
Have you seen the one where he starts singing about Ponfar in the middle of a concert on the mess decks?
On DS9?
No, Voyager.
Excuse me, on Voyager? Nuh-uh. I haven't seen all of Voyager.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you ever get a chance, Voyager, Ponfar, Doctor Sings.
All right, I'll watch that. All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode. This one is called The Muse, episode 21 of Season 4. We're almost done with Season 4.
I can't believe it.
I know, it's crazy. I'm so excited.
How long have we been doing DS9? Like, been over a year?
No, a week and a half.
Yeah, we were just really blowing through them. I want to say, Dennis, I think we did this a couple weeks ago, but I will look again just for shits and giggles.
See, I was adding it up, and see, what the listeners don't understand is that we recorded all of these. Right now, it's September of 2017.
Yeah, we recorded this all in a row.
Just one long week. We just got to the house. We got some tea, some coffee.
Some methamphetamines. Just like, all right, let's do it.
We had those 20-hour recording days. That's why you'll get some of the episodes where we kind of go into a slump. I mean, technically, we're all still in one big room. It's just that we have the different setups on the four corners of the room. It's pretty awesome.
It's all true. I was there.
Yeah, you're there now.
Yeah, I am.
Like right now, Dennis is asleep because
somebody's got to sleep,
and the amphetamines have worn off, and so that's when one of us is missing. That's when we're sleeping.
All right, we started Deep Space Nine 3/2/16, so March 2nd, 2016.
Jesus,
wow.
Yeah,
it does not seem like that long.
No, it doesn't. And I've really, despite my wife's moaning, I've really enjoyed Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, not a fan. My mom, not so much either. Yeah, we started Deep Space Nine on episode 189. This is episode 291.
Jesus, so we've done over. Yeah, I think I remember when we hit 100 episodes on this.
Yeah,
almost at 300.
Yeah.
How is that a reality?
Because we love what we do, and we love Star Trek. We love Star Trek so much, we've made up our own Star Trek world. and we role play in it now. That's
Yeah.
how much we love Star Trek.
Yeah, the folks that don't watch that feed need to check it out.
Get on that shit because it's
Mhm.
good.
That's next level shit.
Yeah, man, we doing it. We doing it up.
You all up here in 2375 while we're in 3375.
Man, I can't wait for you guys to hang out with Space Kyle some more.
Space Kyle. Now, is that Patreon only? I haven't even looked into it.
The audio is Patreon only. The video is on the Dork Trek not iTunes, a YouTube page.
Okay.
You know, you can do subscriptions on YouTube also now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Smash that subscribe button.
Yeah, dude.
No, I mean, though, you can have like, not like subscribe like normal, but then you can have like
a paywall.
Yeah, you can put up a paywall.
Oh.
So I say we go all CBS All Access on that shit.
Yeah, right.
Be
Cash
Dork
grab.
Be
Cash
Dork
grab.
Trek, Dork Trek All Access.
We're doing Dork. I can't speak. Dork Trek Cash Grab. That was really hard for me to get out.
We need a logo.
All
Dork Trek
access
Cash
on board.
Grab. Dork Trek Cash Grab. Dork Trek Cash Grab.
Cash grab.
So that's what DTCG.
Yeah, buddy.
We start just wearing those little shirts.
Cash grab.
Dork Trek Cash Grab. That's how we're doing it. Gonna be rich.
Next time we're at a con together, I say we just walk around like a gang. You just come up behind,
Cash grab.
come up behind people and just catch crap.
Just steal their money.
Yeah.
Cash grab.
I
How
wear a
many,
kilt.
Let's see here. How many? Let's see. See how many subscribers we have to the Dork Trek page here.
7.
I know we actually have quite a few. I was surprised.
Is it more than 7?
We have 25 subscribers.
Oh, is that the Patreons?
No, that's how many people subscribe to the Dork Trek YouTube channel.
Well, see, we don't really talk about the YouTube channel that much.
We don't really put a lot up there.
Yeah.
I just started putting up the episodes. Ooh, that's pretty neat. The Dork Trek Adventures episode 1 has 84 views. Episode 2 has 27. Then
people out there.
People will watch playthrough pods just because they think it's interesting or they find what you're doing fun or they like the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I've been releasing the old videos on the YouTube page, the one from Patreon that are like a year old, just putting them up there just because.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I would feel crooked if if I paid for something and then it's like HBO right now with Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Where you've got to pay for HBO to see the new Sesame Streets, but then it's like a year or two later they show up on PBS for free.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing with some of these things, just sticking them up.
But hey, Patreons, if you get to 100 and like everybody elevate to the $100 mark, we will consider taking those videos down and making them exclusive again.
And at that point, we should be doing the Law and Order podcast too.
Yeah, at that point, we'll be doing Law and Order podcast. So, because the episodes I put up are, we're on 291. The episode I just put up on the YouTube page was like 248. So, it's pretty far back.
It's a year back, yeah.
Yeah, so, and...
Well, here's the thing. If all the Patreons up their subscriptions to the $5,000 level, I think we could, I don't know, maybe do these pretty often, maybe twice a week.
I'm just happy we have people that like us.
I'm shocked each and every episode. I'm shocked most episodes that I haven't had somebody like burning down my house yet,
No way.
Or it's like, yeah, that Twain thing. You was talking about me when you was doing that Twain voice, and I ain't having it. I ain't having that vilification.
No way, man. Everybody
blackguarding me like that.
You're the best. You're wonderful. Jenny, everybody loves Jenny. Everybody loves Dennis. It's me that they're like, that guy's kind of weird.
Oh,
Stop.
So,
What is this, self-deprecation hour?
talking about his penis. So yeah,
So I take my kids to the pediatrician, my boys, and the doctor checks them out. She says everything's fine. So I say, pediatrician, I got some questions. And she goes, what's your question? I said, yeah, you said everything's fine, but should these 2-year-old boys, they have the full-size man-size penis there? And she goes, no, that's what a 2-year-old penis looks like. And I was like, God damn it.
I see what you did there. That was good. That was funny.
I have no idea who I stole that. I stole it. I admit that now. So before somebody like burns my house down for stealing.
Why do you think people are going to burn your house down, Ben? What have you done?
Because I live in a house of straw. And I've also
he's living in a campfire right now.
And the straw, the way it accidentally fell because it's Alabama straw, it spells out the N word.
Oh wow!
And I'm pretty sure. So I'm like, how did that happen? So it's going to get burnt.
Man, oh man!
I had a cross burn in my front yard when I was a kid.
Oh, that's fun.
That's a heartwarming story.
The Muse.
The Muse, the writing center in Norfolk.
Deep Space Nine. This episode is just, I don't know how they managed to have 2 B stories that I just didn't give a fuck about.
That was
it's pretty impressive, right?
The entire episode, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I definitely liked one story more than the other, but I could not for the life of me through the entire episode decide which one was the B story.
They're both B's. Yeah, this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
a night of B stories.
This is like cast-offs from other episodes that were like, this isn't good enough to put on the B story of this.
Well, there wasn't enough that would be too much to have 2 B stories and an A story in another episode. So like you're saying, these are the B stories that were cut from other episodes.
Both of these were stretched out a little bit too long.
Yeah, but the thing is, it takes place like over a day. It seems like it's
a couple of days.
Yeah, I
get a weekend or something.
Yeah, I get the impression that it just happened over a weekend because, I guess the way the episode opens is tall ass Jake is looking at the people coming in Deep Space Nine, and he's like making up like character stories about these people. Like, well, this guy does this, and this guy likes to fuck somebody's wife while the husband watches. And
he just knows that because of all the cameras that his dad has installed all over the station.
Yeah,
but I mean, haven't you ever done that?
Install cameras all over, watch people have sex.
Hell yeah.
Other than the ones that I had on deck 5, yeah, but I'm saying no. Like I would sit in the food court back when our mall actually had a food court, and like we've done that when we would start making up stories about people.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, like
that's a writer thing.
I think it's just a bored teenager thing. Like I did it one night when I was super stoned. I was just sitting outside my apartment in Norfolk, and everybody who walked by made up a weird story about. But yeah,
there's actually a series of YouTube videos where the guy will yell out "story time" and then start making up the story so the people can hear it, and then capture their reactions, and they either play along with it or they get very angry and try to hurt him. Because it's very frightening to have a 20-year-old blonde white guy just kind of pop up behind you and go, "Story time."
This is a real thing?
Yeah. It absolutely is a real thing.
That is the definition of privilege right there.
Yep.
No shit.
Story time. She had blue hair, but not her personality. Or I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. He like tries to make up some little quip.
Yeah, just like on the and he did something like, tonight would be the night that she, showed everyone how fabulous she was. And the woman just turns around and goes, you know it. And so stuff like that.
I'm not sure if I want to watch this. Just
that sounds
out of
annoying.
curiosity.
I would just watch that so someone would punch him in the face, and then it would never happen, and then I would get sad.
I'll share it to you guys.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I won't share it to the listeners unless they want to elevate to the $500 level of the picture.
What?
Or they could just fucking Google it.
Well, yeah. Story time.
This episode
started on Vine.
Hang on. This episode marks the final appearance of Lwaxana Troy.
Yep. Sad.
Wow. This is it for her?
Yeah, she died in childbirth.
No. Did she?
Spoilers next episode, yeah.
No, shut up. Really?
I'm being silly.
I was going to say, wow, that'd have been crazy. What would be... wow, that took a dark turn. Her last...
He had to mute his mic so he could laugh. Silly ass back on the show.
Silly.
I think I broke Jenny there for a moment.
I believed it.
I don't believe anything he says.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I mean, it's hard with Ben, but when it comes to the only thing
Yes, it is.
the only thing I believe Ben about is Star Trek. And I know that sounds very naive on my part, but that's the only thing. Like when he talks about Trek, I go like, okay, I get it.
No,
I will
can tell
always,
when Ben's full of shit.
Well, you guys did date for quite a while. I mean,
no, I will say
I hope
that
so.
was one of out the gate, even when we were just on Twitter and shit. Other than one Doctor Who tweet, Jenny has always been literally the only person on the planet who can just right through the bullshit.
I don't know. See, well, again, like I said, most of the things that come out of your mouth, I assume are lies, except when you talk about Star Trek. That's So like,
I will always tell you.
Yeah, and
I don't use my power for malicious purposes.
I just think it's part of your fun. Like you just entertain yourself. That way.
Yeah. When I start bullshitting, it's like this magical thing. It's honestly the only time I can reach orgasm.
All right, cool. That's
Cool.
Yeah. Cool story, bro. Unless I'm bullshitting about.
Neat, dude.
No. There we go.
There we go. So this is the final appearance of Lwaxana Troy. That's really sad. This makes me like the episode less than.
I actually thought it made me like it a little bit more because now I'm like, no, I kind of feel bad that it, that I'm judging it very harshly. That this is like her last episode.
Now she didn't pass. I mean, this was her last episode.
Die.
It wasn't she lived to do voice. I think she did the computer voice on the first Jar Jar Abrams movie.
Yeah, she did, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And so, I mean, that's 2009.
She just stopped.
That's like 10 years after DS9 went off.
Yeah, she just stopped being on the show. Yeah, she died in 2008.
Either way, this was not. I don't know. Just the fact that it's her last episode on the
Star
show.
Trek. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I mean, she did the voice of the computer on Voyager. All 7 years of that.
Yeah, but that show sucks.
Yeah, but her voice was the best part of it.
I mean, we might not know because we might never watch that show.
We have to. That's the completionist in me. We have to do it. Yeah. It's going to be done. Voyager will get done. And I've seen a couple good episodes of Voyager.
Mm-hmm. So you're done. That's the two.
But yeah,
I actually liked Voyager. So I'm not going to hate on it too much. There were problems, but I didn't hate it.
Okay, here's the thing about Voyager, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I really like Chakotay as a character.
Okay.
And I really like Janeway.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them can all kind of go shit in a hat for all I care. Like, it's odd, but I like Janeway and I like Chakotay, and the rest of them just seem kind of boring.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, from what little I've seen of it, I'm not. That's about how I feel about it, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm keeping an open mind, though. I'm trying.
Me too. Like Tom Prince, I guess, is okay.
Tom Paris.
Whatever, Tom Paris. Even though he was the kid in, I saw it the other night, the Wesley episode where they kill somebody. He's the captain of the Delta Squad or whatever.
Yeah, Red Squadron or Rogue One or whatever it was.
I think it was Delta Squad or some shit. I don't know.
They tried to do a Jaeger loop.
Yeah, and then Wesley totally ratted on himself, and then that was a good episode.
I think it was one of those things where they wanted him to be that character on Voyager.
That would have been cool.
But it was a rights issue or something, or it was some weird reason why they couldn't use that character. So then they just made a character that was exactly like that character,
but different name.
But a different name.
Maybe he rejoined under a different identity or whatever.
Just put glasses on.
Yeah, he's like, nope, that's not me. I didn't do any of that stuff.
No, you're thinking of Palm Terrace. I'm Tom Paris.
Yeah, that's somebody else.
Common mistake.
Happens all the time. That's my evil twin, as a matter of fact. You didn't see the goatee? Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was beaming up from a planet, and then there was a disturbance. And it was the one with Tom Riker, and they were like gay boyfriends for a while.
Hot.
So hot. But yeah, this episode, I mean, it kind of sucks. I can't. I can't.
I liked the B story.
Which one? Which one?
No, the writer
They're both
one.
B stories.
They're both B stories.
That's why I like the writer episode.
I thought the Jake episode was the main story, and Lwaxana
Was the B story.
was the B story.
The way that I finally determined that Jake was the A story, aside from the fact that I preferred that one, was that why is that?
The show opened with Jake.
He was the first one out the gate, so it's like, okay, you're A, and then Odo goes to his office, and so she's B.
Yeah, because
didn't it end with the Odo and Lwaxana story?
It ended with Jake.
Okay.
Yeah, it ended with Jake. So that's the A story.
They bookended.
It's kind of like they're both B minuses, maybe C's. Just depends on the curve,
Yeah.
But like Jake is just kind of sitting there chilling, and he's just standing on the corner watching all the girls go by, and he sees this weird alien looking lady with a huge forehead, and she looks up at him, and he looks at her, and then like
it was love at first sight.
She just starts hollering at him and like the weirdest. And Jake has a thing for older women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I checked on it. The actress
mommy issues.
Was like 48 in this episode.
She's the chick from They Live.
Yep.
She's the TV worker from They Live. I didn't recognize her with all the makeup and giant forehead, but then once I Googled it, I was like, there she is. It made a lot of sense. But yeah, so he's definitely got a thing for older chicks because he was trying to push up on his Mirror Universe mom.
So weird. Like, why is there 2 weird Jake episodes in a row?
Because, I mean, most writers put themselves into their stories. So somebody on the staff had mommy issues.
He's a Mary Sue.
And I will say the weird apple does not fall far from the weird tree either with Jake because he's all like, yes, I can't stop now. I'm just like my dad. I am a freak.
I don't want to jump too far ahead, but he literally wore the alien out.
Yeah, she was like, look.
He's like, look, I got to rest, dude. I can only suck but so much energy.
I am just sucking and my jaw hurts from all this sucking at your energy.
Energy refractory period.
Yeah. Like, man, my energy sucking is raw. We need some energy sucking lube up in here. Because that's basically what happens. Like, Jake meets this lady at the bar and she starts talking to him and she's like, yes, I knew so. It's like some architect or some shit when his designs were not super fancy and complex, when he was not super fancy and complex, but yet I was able to make him super fancy and complex. That's her voice to me. Like that's all I hear is her voice.
It was that whisper voice.
It was creepy as shit.
Very creepy, Jake Sisko.
Jake Sisko, are you 18 now?
Well, how about if you...
I was going by the Bajoran calendar. We're already 21.
Perhaps later you can come by my quarters and we can work on your work together, Jake Sisko.
See, I think this was
Jake is like, yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
I like how he plays all shy. He plays all shy, though, when he gets there. It's like, oh, golly, is this what the inside of a lady's quarters look like?
What is she doing on this ship? Like, did she just passing through and she just brought a fucking suitcase full of candles with her and shit?
And curtains. I mean, how do you get
this room up quick?
Yeah, how do you get the room like set up like that though? Is O'Brien sending guys down there to hang curtains for this bitch? And
we need to hang curtains now before she gets here, and the curtains and the flames.
Calm down, Scotty.
But I don't know. I'm sure they have like fantasy rooms on DS9, right? Like they have sex things when people show up there.
That was the holosuites.
With the horniness and the candles there and the curtains.
So she got like the honeymoon suite.
Exactly.
Basically.
No, she got the horse suite.
Because Deep Space, like
usually the same thing.
Kinda. But let me ask, so like at Deep Space Nine, they have the promenade, which is the food court, but is it also like a fancy like hotel where people can rent rooms?
Yeah, there's rooms, there's the habitat ring.
So,
and this thing is like a mile across.
But what I'm saying is, it functions as like people coming through to the station can stop and rent rooms and stay there for. So, like they have like space Airbnbs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess maybe it was already decorated for her. Because all I could think was like
planned ahead.
This was like bringing all of this shit to a hotel, and like you go to your hotel room, and the first night you just set up curtains and just candelabras everywhere.
We need more
Get the sex
candles,
dungeon ready.
Yes, Jake Cisco.
No, I
we
think
need more candles.
I think you can actually, when you're making the reservation on your pad, and you're like, okay, Airbnb. Let's see, I want the candles and shit,
Candles
and
and
curtain
shit, yes.
option.
Yes.
And
That's
there's
gonna
like
be
a
an
little,
upgrade.
there's like a little slider for how close to whore you want, and it's like French whorehouse.
Take that all the way to the right.
There we go.
All the way over. But to be fair,
Chains hanging from the walls.
chains, whips
Back it
and
up,
chains.
back it up.
It's not like all she has to do is go replicate a bunch of candles. It's not like she's got to like buy them, or like it's not like she's got to go to the Jake Cisco, before you come to my quarters, will you tell me, is there a Yankee candle on board these days?
Is there a space Bed Bath and Beyond?
Perhaps-
This is the Beyond.
Perhaps a Joanne, so I can just buy the fabric and perhaps bring it back with my receipt when we're finished. Jake Cisco.
Just don't get anything on the linens.
Yeah, because all she would need to do is just replicate all the stuff. So that's not.
But who's hanging it? I mean, that's the thing, though, is regardless
Jake
of.
Cisco, you're very tall. You help me hang these curtains before you come over.
Oh, that's the thing. Though. She's got this shit before he gets there. So that's the scene I want to see, is her sweaty, and she's got like some ratty sweatpants on or whatever, and a t-shirt, and she's like frantically hanging this shit, getting the room ready for
It's
Jake.
so difficult to suck people's energies, life, brains from them.
I feel like she maybe found somebody that was trying to be an interior designer and like did the whole energy sucking thing. Like, and here's your blank canvas. Be inspired by my room, and just con somebody in the setup the room for her.
Could be.
That's how she does everything.
There's some
Yeah.
gay Bajoran guy who's like, over at the
Why does he have to be gay, Ben?
interior design.
Why does he have to be gay, Ben?
Because those are the best interior designers. Didn't you watch Designing Women?
I did.
There you go.
Why? But like, maybe this is how she gets everything done. Like when she needs her gas pumped at the gas station, she just finds.
And she gets some sweaty guy from New Jersey.
I need to inspire some New Jersey boy to pump my gasoline. That's yes, New Jersey man, pump it. And then she sucks all of his life for that. I'm so hungry. All this sucking of life has made me so parched. I need to find a barista to make me the most delicious latte in the world. Yes, I will inspire you, and then I'll suck your life force out.
And though, that her little coffee design in the top of the cappuccino.
Yes, make it wonderful. Yes, yes, yes. Lady, why you can't be behind the counter? You can't do that. You got to stay on the other side. It's an OSHA violation. You got to. No, it's energy sucking. Yes, make my latte. Yeah.
The OSHA inspector comes up. And
You're the great.
Fuck out of it.
You're the greatest OSHA inspector the world has ever seen. Your reviews will go down into history. Yeah, yes. Find all the rat droppings. Yes.
Odo, damn it. I don't mind you being a hot, heavy rat in the bar, but god damn it, stop shitting in here.
Yeah, and then Odo finds crying ass Lwaxana in her room, and she's all knocked up.
How many times do we see her get married on this show? Like throughout the course of Star Trek.
She thirsty. She thirsty.
Like,
Well, like,
she's been married 3 different times that I know of, specifically.
But I mean, she doesn't have to be married to get the dick. Like, she can just get the dick.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why go through all the formality of the marriage?
Dick is dick.
Yeah, and then like, what happens to her other husbands? Because there's one episode where she gets married in the nude. Or does he leave?
He leaves. He can't stand the fact that she's nude.
Ooh.
Yep.
But I mean, like, I don't get it, man.
She's never, I mean, I know she said she had her mind and heart set on Odo, but it was Picard for her.
Yeah, she loved Picard. Like, she wanted that wrinkly old ball slapping around on her fucking chotch down there.
I mean, I think she's just saying all this stuff to just, try to get some D. That's all it is.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you don't have to work so hard, Lwaxana. You're a good-looking older broad. Just be like, hey, Jake Cisco, let's fuck. And, he'd be down with it because he likes old ladies.
Yeah.
All she's got to do is like read some old books.
I'm willing,
right?
Cisco.
And just like pump that shit in his head with her psychic.
He would have
power.
fucking lost his mind if the other lady with big forehead tried to have a three-way with him and Lwaxana Troy.
He'd have been nutting all over the place. So much nut. So much
creative energy.
Oh, I can't. I got to get all this energy out of my balls. Yes, Jake Cisco, let me get it all out of your balls.
That's disgusting.
I'm just saying, that's what happens on this show.
There's more creative energy in your prostate.
Look, I've been working on
let me milk your creative energy.
I got a first draft that I've been trying to shit out for about 2 years now.
Well, that's because someone hasn't come over and milked your prostate to let out your creative.
God damn it! If I knew that would have been.
There you go.
Yes,
They have one of those on Amazon. I'm buying the fuck out of that after the show.
Milk your prostate. Yes, Jake Cisco, let me milk it. Let me
And when
milk.
they find my dead body with the blood-covered manuscript, make sure it gets published.
Yes, let me publish your creativity that I squeezed from your anus. Yes, by massaging your prostate, making you ejaculate harder than you've ever ejaculated before, Jake Cisco.
Calm down.
So hot. Yes, yes, yes.
I had a friend of mine who broke up with a chick because she was a nurse and tried to shove her finger up his ass.
Hello, nurse.
And I was like, my God, man, you're a fool. Don't you know what she was trying to do? Trying to make me gay.
She was trying to unlock your creativity.
That's like 6 books right there. Just let her go. I mean, she's a nurse. They have to take anatomy classes. She is a trained professional, my man.
Is that how you said it to her as well?
That's exactly what I said.
Professional, my man.
That woman right there has got the fingers of a surgeon.
She's got
a degree
to make you nut real hard. Am I right? Yes, Jake Cisco. Not so hard.
Finishing my hands.
Nut all over the page, Jake Cisco. Yes. Yes, your word nut just keeps coming from your pen.
What is this, paper?
See,
Nut all over it.
it's actually dried nut from the interior designer. we spread it out. We chop it into sheets.
Yep.
It's very avant-garde, Jake Cisco. You're nutting on nut, yes.
I will say, for a 25th century or 24th century kid, his handwriting pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he's got good handwriting.
People don't even have that good a handwriting now.
Yeah.
He's doing this in cursive.
Yeah.
They don't even teach kids in the 21st century cursive anymore.
No, they do. They still. My daughter's taking cursive. She's doing cursive in 3rd grade. But yeah, like for someone that's never written pen to paper before, his penmanship is. I mean, like there's no fucking lines on that paper either. And he's like but that's what happens when you're nutting your words out, Jake Cisco. It's so much nut.
Now I will say though, I get the whole thing with the visceral, the pen to paper thing. Just how that feels when you're actually writing.
Yes.
And when I used to do the comic, there's a whole different texture.
Yes. Feel it.
When you feel the pen drag across the paper and leave that ink line behind it.
Yes, let it drag your wiener all over the paper, Benjamin Cisco. Yes.
Look, man, I'm just saying, these words mean something.
What is that white stain on that piece of paper?
Yes.
That's none of your business.
Ben, drag your balls across the paper, Ben. Yes. See, I don't like writing. I don't like writing on paper because I can't spell and my handwriting sucks.
Well, apparently neither can Jake.
Yeah. My handwriting is shit and my spelling is bad. So I actually want to know the words that are on the page.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Ben. Yes.
I used to be able to spell better before I got work.
The hands are key. You gotta
massage the brain.
So while all that weird shit's going on, there's some boring shit going on because Lwaxana's all pregnant and her and Odo are acting like newlyweds. Why don't they just love each other?
I didn't understand any of this this plot at all. I'm gonna be honest because
I gotta agree.
Like Odo has never shown any interest in her at all, and all of a sudden now he's like, he's magically coming up with the exact right words to convince everybody that he's in love with Lwaxana. Like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, he's probably just thinking of Kira because he's still in love with Kira.
He turns his hand into and some of his body into a blanket to keep her warm.
That was kind of cute, though.
Yeah.
It was, but I
honest.
mean, like, it's
Adorable.
but it just seems very much out of left park because normally he's super not into her.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense for him to like suddenly just be into her. And the only thing I can think is that because she kind of like radiates emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So like when she was sad, everybody else around her is sad. So when she's wanting affection and she's wanting romance and stuff, that's the emotion that she's going to give off. And I guess Odo, even being a changeling, can still pick up on that.
Well, when she said though that people can she can sense the baby's contentment or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets that look when he gets hit with it, and he's like, okay, that's awesome.
Baby loves me.
I mean, when you feel a baby kick for the first time, it's creepy as fuck. But then the second time you feel it, it's very touching and like,
Baby loves me, y'all.
because the first time was like, holy fuck, there's something crawling around inside of you, kill it.
There's something in your vagina.
I saw this movie.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't really live in the vagina. I don't care how it works. Just shut up. It's in there somewhere. That's where it comes out, man. I don't fully understand the woman's body because they didn't teach that to me when I was in school. They taught me about my own, which seemed kind of stupid because I was super aware of all my parts at the time because I kept jingling them around.
I got some old bra to teach me how to milk my prostate and write books.
I went to the food court. I like how she just creeps up on him at the fucking food court.
No.
He's just sitting there, and she's like, oh, you're a writer. Because Jake is totally that asshole who sits at Starbucks with his fucking typewriter.
I do that. What the fuck? Because I got to get out of the house sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Look at me. I'm writing a novel.
I'm not writing a novel. I'm just writing comic books. But my point is, sometimes you just got to get out of the house, man. Sometimes you need contact with people.
Nope.
I
think this episode is an allegory for drug and alcohol use in the writing community.
No, get out of your house. Like, if you're...
She is a case of Jack Daniels, and he went on like a weekend bender, drank himself into oblivion, writing his story. The good old-fashioned Hemingway way.
See, that's bullshit. As like... being my limited experience in comics and talking to freelance artists and people who work in the biz, their biggest thing is like, I'm just so fucking lonely all the time. So tons of them just go out and work in an open just to interact with other people.
Yeah. You don't have that whole thing of like you go to the office and, Sheila's over by the coffee pot because that bitch never fucking makes another pot. So she's
punch her in the fucking face. Sheila, I hate her guts.
God
yeah.
Damn it.
And like even with the kids going to school now full time, I've been leaving the house just to work, just to write stuff, just to make it feel like it's a job because I could just come home and jerk off or take a nap. You know what I'm saying? Or eat a sandwich. So at least this way I'm like, well, I'm going to go somewhere because
like you set aside time to go work on something.
Yeah.
One of the cartoonists I know, he set up his I don't know, I say set up shop, but his studio or whatever was in the what do you call the thing where it's a garage that's not attached?
A detached garage.
Yes, that's why I don't have a fucking book yet. Me and Word. His detached garage. And so the thing was, though, even though it's just, I mean, not even like 30 steps from his back door to get there, that's how he turns on the motor.
It just feels like something's cooking.
I go to work. I'm at work now. So, he does it right in the house. I'm sure he does. But, I mean, it's just one of those things where, no, that's work. This is home.
Yep.
And when I'm home, I do home things.
Yeah.
Goof off. But if I'm at work, I fucking work. And if I feel like, I just want to play PlayStation. Well, you got to go home for that. You can't do PlayStation in the office.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons I could never do freelance full time, just because I'm not disciplined enough to not sit there and play Grand Theft Auto all day instead of working.
That's funny.
I've actually known people that like rent space. There's a lot of places that'll do like like rented office space for usually for creative types, like freelancers. So you can be a writer, you can be an artist or whatever it is that you do, and just here's your desk. And then you kind of like can collaborate with other people in the office too.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about that. But
like a maker space, or you just get out of your house for a while. Like
I know in Philly they take some of the old
like warehouses and shit,
and they just chop it up into like the size of my walk-in closet, and that's your office.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have an address, you have a place that you go, and you have your office, bigger offices. It's almost like storage units.
Yeah.
Except, now you have electricity and you can sit there all day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got security. And then like Brad was saying that at the one he worked at, was it downstairs? They had the bigger spaces. So the guys who were doing like the big art projects and stuff, they have that room.
I went to one once where they had like the office area, and then like right up front they also had like a little coffee bar place that you could go and like, so everybody who's working there or just anybody walking in from the street can just go to get a cappuccino or whatever. I would just waste all my freaking money on that.
Well, that's the thing is I feel like I'm already wasting money by renting the space unless I'm producing.
Well, you got to produce, Ben. Produce. Get working on your werebear. Let's go. Come on. I want some werebear fanfic gay stuff.
Yeah.
Chop. Yeah. There is a big hole in my reading cycle, and that hole needs to be filled by werebear gay stuff.
Yeah.
What's this hole filled?
2 bears, 2 gay werebear dudes having.
Oh, now there's an idea. In the next story, the werebear meets this hot guy at the bar, which is his usual pattern. Mm-hmm. Right? But the twist is they're both werebears on the prowl.
Yeah. And then instead of just ramming each other with hot gay sex, they just fall in love.
Yep. And then they get bear married.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Wow, we're really good at this.
They decide to live as bears for the rest of their lives.
Man, this werebear stuff just writes itself, man.
Dude, it does. I got like 10,000 words out of this already in my head. Boom. So Book 7 coming out soon.
But we need to massage your prostate before it comes out, Ben. Yes.
No.
You just need a creepy lady with a big forehead to
this is how you know he's writing like real literature. Is that she's massaging that prostate, because if you're writing erotica, you need that shit to be built up.
She could be a weirdo. She's a Meg Foster, Canadian lady, I think. No, she's from Pennsylvania. She was she was okay, right? Like she was all right. This movie wasn't this episode kind of sucks. It's just, I mean, even the first time I saw it recently, I was just like, this is just like you said, Ben, this is just writers living out their writing fantasy bullshit.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. It's every Stephen King book I've ever read. And the main character is a writer who used to be an English teacher. Now he lives in a haunted house that time travels.
A kooky old house. That should be your next werebear book, called Kooky Old House, where the werebears go there and they have
that's where they honeymoon at.
They have hot gay sex together.
It's an Airbnb, and it's called the Kooky Old House Airbnb. And that's when it turns into a gay Scooby-Doo adventure.
Then they go back in like a gay time machine, where when they get in the gay time machine, it makes all the time that they go to visit gay. So that,
but it already is, isn't it?
I don't know, Ben. I'm not writing this stuff. I'm spitballing here, man.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't bullshit. You can't shit on ideas when we're brainstorming here, Ben. But like they go back to very prominent times in gay history. Yes.
So here's the thing: is I can never write this one now because we've given enough details. As soon as this fucking hits the shelves and somebody finds it, they're like, "You are him. Him are you. I know your pseudonym now." So it's just like, fuck.
Well, you shouldn't make your pseudonym Men McCormick.
McCormick. Actually, it's Ensign Sonar.
No, I like Men McCormick myself. That's really good. Men McCormick. Have you read the new novel by by how do you pronounce it? McCormick. Oh, it's so good.
Wait, what kind of name is Min? Oh, I'm sorry. It's short for Minjamin.
That Min is just a real. Oh, I can't wait to read
his friends. His close friends call him Minji.
Can't wait to read that new McCormick book.
New from Min McCormick, a tale of love and passion of the barest kind.
All right, keep talking because I have a feeling Min McCormick is going to show up in our Star Trek role playing. Hello, I'm Min McCormick. Admiral Min McCormick.
He's just sitting there on the hat with a typewriter.
No, see, that's the thing is you always use that archaic technology. So he's got like a MacBook Air or something, and people are like, "Oh my God, what is that?"
That's
this is a laptop. You've probably never heard of them.
No.
It's like the idea of walking in onto the hat. There's just dude sitting in the corner.
See, I don't call it 10 Forward anymore. I call it the hat.
The hat.
Hey guys, let's go hang out at the hat.
That's what it is. It's the hat. It's our 10 Forward.
The listeners don't know this. They have to go.
I got to release them too, though. I haven't released them yet.
Oh,
listen to the Star Trek Adventure.
A tease.
I really enjoy the Star Trek Adventures. I can't wait for the next one. It's going to be great.
It'll be better than this episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, we don't have to try very hard to do that. We just need a story, like one story that continues on and is interesting.
It goes on and on, my friends. This is the story that never ends.
It's just not good, man. Like, it's just not. I mean, I wanted to like it because I like Jake and like the lady was from They Live, and I like They Live, but it's just not.
I like Lwaxana Troy. I like Odo. I like all these things.
Quark's in it.
Episode, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, Quark was great because he was like, she's fucking bumming everybody out. She's terrible for business. You better get her out of here.
I love it though when Odo's like, "Do you want to go for a walk?" and Worf is like, "Yes." It's like anything to get me out of here.
Like, I'm just so sad.
It's like, hey, Worf, that was almost your mother-in-law. Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
I don't know. And then you were right. Like Odo and Lwaxana are acting very not Lwaxana and Odo-ish. Like they're like newlyweds.
I think
what's that Robert Redford and Barbara Streisand picture where they're newlyweds there? That's what because they're being all giggly and laughy. Have you seen that one?
I had years ago.
It's about something on the park or something. Let me see. Redford, Streisand.
But see, I thought it was more the fact, though, that they actually did kind of bond in the turbolift that time when he turned into a puddle in her lap.
Yeah.
First thing I thought when she showed up pregnant, I was like, is this from the time that he crawled up inside of her vagina and like hid out there for a bit when he didn't have a bucket?
Yes. Hide in your vagina.
He's just being silly.
You need to stop.
I miss my kitty cat.
Gonna crawl up in your twat.
Gonna ooze up in it.
I'm gonna ooze all over it, baby. You wild tramp. Is that no, it's when it was was it The Chase? No, it wasn't The Chase. What was the name of that movie where they were playing like newlyweds or some shit? It was Robert Redford and some lady, and they were playing newlyweds there. And I don't remember. I could be making all this stuff up. I probably am. There's a good chance I am. Barefoot in the Park? Is it Barefoot in the Park?
The Fisher King?
Yeah, it's Jane Fonda, Barefoot in the Park. Neil Simon, fittingly enough.
Aww.
Who just died. It made me real sad.
R.I.P. Neil Simon.
Yeah, a free-spirited young woman and Robert Redford, a conservative, less-spirited man, a recently married couple who move into a fifth-floor apartment in Greenwich Village. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Barefoot in the Park. Isn't that isn't that Dharma and Greg, basically, what I just described?
Mm-hmm.
Those motherfuckers.
Yeah, don't you hate when you find shit like that?
I never liked that Dharma and Greg show anyway.
I liked it.
Damn.
Those cock-sucking motherfuckers. If I ever see Dharma or Greg, I'm gonna fucking punch him in the fucking face.
I swear to God, one of Jenny's friends looks just like
Greg?
Dharma's mom.
Dharma's the guy, right?
No, Dharma's the chick.
Yeah, Greg is the hippie girl.
I'm just
Like
saying.
back then, though, when she was younger, not now. 'Cause I've seen her recently on another show, and she's older now. And your friend isn't older like that. I'm just saying, when that actress was younger,
I got you. Like when she was on Dharma and Greg, basically,
yeah.
or close.
Because there's a way that Lauren will do her eyes
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're Dharma's mom.
Dharma. I never watched Dharma and Greg.
Darmok and Greg.
Are you married to
I'd watch that episode. I'd watch that for days. Or it was Darmok when the walls fell and Greg, and they would fucking hang out with each other. And they try to figure out what they're talking about.
tax returns when the filing date was late?
I don't think it's not that overt. Like it has to be more vague, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like Shaka when the walls fell. Like it took Picard a really long time to figure out what that meant, but I could figure out what you just said. So it has to be,
because we're from this culture.
It has to be more vague.
I could say Happy Days when Fonzie jumped the shark.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, not even that though. I'd have to limit it. I'd have to say when Arthur jumped the shark, and then it's right there. Jump the shark has become part of our
yes
lexicon.
I get you.
And in the loop is the same thing, because that comes from Vice President Bush at the time when when they were asking about Iran Contra, and he says, "Oh, I wasn't in." And like, Jesus, what president? I can't.
That was Ronald Reagan.
I was not in that loop, but not gonna do it. Not gonna.
That's George Bush.
Yeah, George Bush when he was vice president. Wasn't in that loop. Not gonna do it. Didn't know it. Information around, not in. Did not know.
Yeah, you're doing Dana Carvey's George Bush.
Little Georgie gonna grow up and be president. Be the best president ever. I've noticed that when I explain things to stupid people at work, I do George Bush hands.
All right, that works. It's better than doing Trump hands, which is this all the time.
Yeah, no, the Bush hands are the
it's like, hey, look at my man tits.
Yeah. Oh no, my petulant child. I'm not eating my spinach, and we're keeping the flag up.
Because I guess Trump is taken to like just doing videos on Twitter now, where he just talks about stuff, and he's just always like, and he kind of brings his any.
Hey
like,
guys, welcome
Alec
to my
Baldwin,
channel.
Alec Baldwin does it perfectly. It's honestly frightening how accurate his portrayal of Trump is.
One of the things I learned though years ago with comics, it was to watch when you have a fat guy and a skinny guy as a comedy team, right? The skinny guy is going to be all over the place, like, arms flapping in the wind, and the fat guy is going to be close in, right? Because think of Ollie and Stan and Ollie, right? Mm-hmm. And the finger, all close up to the chest, and then so it's those things. Wild and crazy guy.
Oh yes, but yeah, I don't know, man. This episode was just not great.
Yeah.
Because then, like, Odo has to convince, I guess, according to their law, which is real weird, this alien race, like, they can annul a marriage if someone else loves that person more.
Well, no, I mean, it's just you get married again. And then because there's no divorce.
Fuck it. Just erase the last one.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot easier than the way that I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it just seems to me it's very much like, oh, yeah, I love this person a lot. And the other person is like, I don't believe you. Like, no, I swear.
And you also have to convince your friends and her ex.
I actually kind of felt bad for her ex. Like, they had like a weird culture where they're like, oh, you're my possession. But number one, why did she get into a relationship with somebody in a culture like that?
Well, because the dick was good.
Just fucking, I mean, but still though, just leave after that. Like, just get it.
She said though, she felt like a prisoner in her own house. This is one of those jackasses that marries a chick, isolates her from all of her friends, and then she becomes a fucking possession in his
But
house.
that's part of their culture. Like, why would you get into a relationship with somebody where that is essentially part of?
Why are there spacefaring
relationships?
cultures where that's still a thing?
I don't know.
It's like Jesus.
Yeah, why are there Federation cultures where that still is a thing? Like, it seems to me that wouldn't be, you wouldn't be allowed into the Federation. If
Well,
that's
you may not be in the Federation.
It's true.
I mean, they're just spacefaring. They could be unaligned, but I don't know. But that was the other thing is the guy that's Kang. He's the Klingon from the original series, and from earlier this series when Jadzia and the 3 Klingons go on their big but don't blame me, I voted for Kang.
Yeah.
But no, so he was one of the original Klingons.
Wow.
And he was also married to Barbara Eden at one time.
Yeah, that's good work if you can get it right there. She's beautiful, Barbara.
Yeah.
But still, I just felt bad for him. Like when it was like, okay, I guess you really do love her. I guess, I mean, I loved her too, but I guess I'll just leave.
Guess she loves you more. I'll go jerk off. Tell my kid I loved him.
I mean,
I was a good man. Didn't want him to be raised by no fucking woman, but there we go.
So weird.
He
Like,
also
all of this, the more we pick it apart, I'm just like, what was that culture? They had like a loophole where you can just be like, I'm gonna just get married again.
Well, I get those like, the child will be raised by the mother's husband. It's like, okay, not the father. Mother's husband.
Weirdest fucking episode of Maury ever.
Yeah, right. He was also
the husband. Wait,
he was Cochise in Broken Arrow, Kane and Buck Rogers,
yep,
Kang in Star Trek, and then was Mr. Freeze in Batman the Animated Series.
Yep.
Interesting. Good for him.
A very long and storied career.
And he also got to marry Barbara Eden, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yo, she was real hot.
Bum, 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 bum. And that's what the quarters of Jake's hot older broad looked like with the curtains and stuff.
It's true.
There we go. It's just bringing it all around. And she turned to smoke at the end of the episode, just like Barbara Eden.
Yeah, well, she turned into like a weird, and I mean, I was telling Stephanie when we were watching it, because Sophie came out and she's like, what's happening? And I tried to tell her, and she's like, oh, okay. And then when the lady disappeared, she's like, where's she going? I was like, I don't know, but that happens a lot on this series of programs. Like, people just turn into energy and fly away.
In this franchise, it happens a lot.
It does. Like, that's their out. Like, how do we get out of this? Turn into a ball of energy and float away.
Well, I mean, when she said that she's been inspiring people for,
Well, she mentioned didn't she mention
Keats, yeah. And Catalyst and
Space Names.
David Foster Wallace, which I thought was kind of surprising since he was still actively writing at the time. And no, I'm joking.
One random observation that I saw at some point, there were some uniforms that I had never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I just missed it or what, but they were brown with a purple,
the nurse.
Yeah, I'd never
seen
seen
what it was.
Yeah,
Hello,
in sick bay, the lady who was treating Jake and then got slapped around.
Yeah, she fucking cold cocked that bitch too. Just
they've had that uniform for a while. That's majority medical.
It was the most bizarre design. It was this brown coverall thing, and then it had the purple came around like a corset or something, and then it had this thing that almost went up into the boobs area.
Well, if you look, it's the same design as Odo and Kira's. I mean,
just a bad color scheme.
There's the base design for it. Well, that's the thing is medical always is, think about us. We got guys running around with green smocks. I mean,
yeah, but this the whole design of it was just weird. Weird, man.
Yeah, but she's been on there before. She's one of those that you feel bad for because she had, she's on there for 4 years now and not said a word. So there was this guy that looked kind of like a cheap version of McCoy.
Yeah.
That he looked kind of like Asian/Hispanic McCoy, and he was in the background on TNG all the time. And he never said a fucking word. And he was all the way through the series, he was always back there helping Beverly, but never got to say a word. And I felt bad for him. I think I think Nurse What's Her Nuts actually starts talking on DS9. She may already have actually, but
Nurse What's Her Nuts.
Yeah.
Can that also be in Star Trek Adventures?
She also gets a yes doctor every now and again.
I love What's Her Nuts. That's one of my favorites.
Nurse What's Her Nuts, bring me the results of the test.
Yes, I
doctor.
love What's Her Nuts.
Try my nuts.
Yes, What's Her Nuts is the best.
Anyway.
And then it's over. Lwaxana leaves and she gives him like the "it's not you, it's me" kind of thing. And then it's over. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, they were best friends.
Yeah.
BFFs.
So how does she get out of this marriage? So she just serves him some papers later on?
I don't know.
We never see her again. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, next episode we get the news report. She died in childbirth.
Drats. Dun, 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 dun. And then it's over. This episode, I'm just going to go. This episode's like 5. That's as low as I'm willing to go for Deep Space Nine. But this is the worst Deep Space Nine episode I've seen in quite a while. I just didn't. It's 2 B stories.
I will not even be that generous. I'm giving it a 4.
Whoa! Deep Space 4.
I'm telling you, like, I have a higher standard for DS9. I like the show so much that, like, when they throw in a freaking bomb like this, it's like, come on, you guys, I expect better from you.
Yes, let me massage your brain.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things I don't know if people noticed, but the book that he started writing in this episode, Anselm,
Yes,
was the book that he was known for having published in the alternate timeline when his dad died.
I like that.
The girl
still doesn't make it worth a shit.
This is the one that the girl came to his house and was like, yeah, you wrote the one book and then you disappeared.
Like, why did all these weird white bitches just be showing up at his place to talk about some book?
Well, look at J.D. Salinger. That shit happened all the time with him.
Let me massage your brain. This episode was stinky.
No, I'm debating 6 or 6.5, but I'm going to go.
Stop.
I'm going to go with 6.
All right, Ben says it's 6.
It really spoke to me on a writing level and makes me want to write again. And I like
it makes you want to find an old broad with a big forehead.
No, just a big index finger so she can get up in there and massage.
Yeah.
It's like most of the best essays I've ever written have been after having my prostate fingered. So,
but I'm bleeding. It's okay. You're fine.
Chapter 4.
It's okay. Oh, she wanted to stop, and he's like, I don't care. I got to keep going.
No, I need more.
That's the thing is, I mean, how much was that the space vampire was like, okay, I'm done. And he's like, no, I need another chapter. So it's like, oh.
She's getting him hooked. Edging his creativity.
I don't know, yo. But yeah, I'm going to stick with a 6.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, maybe 6.25.
We don't do quarters on this show, Ben.
No.
Halves.
What is this, soccer?
Halves are holes. We don't do quarters.
I'm at 6.
All right, there you go. All right, well, that's the episode, everybody. Real stinker. Next week, I think we got some good stuff to look forward to. I think the next episode is
For the Cause.
For the Cause, which is a good one, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so at least they give you something awesome right off after that fucking shit show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's the only good thing about having a filler episode like this is like the next one is going to be great.
They're going to come hard, son.
Yeah.
They had all the junior writers write the last 2 because the grown-up writers were busy writing the next one.
Yeah, that shit was whack, son. Just whack.
Mm.
So
I don't think it was that bad.
Ooh, the story was story by Barrett actually helped write the story.
Yep.
So there you go. Just like, yeah, let's,
now was it Ira?
Yeah,
Ira Stephen Bear wrote the other.
No, Renee Echeverria.
Echeverria.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Majel Barrett, or however you pronounce her name.
Because it was teleplay by and then story by the 2 of them.
Yes, story by Renee Echeverria.
So I'm still listening to the 50-Year Voyage, and they've just gotten to the last couple of weeks I've been listening to it. It's been about the DS9 section.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about all of in this season, we decided to end it this way. And, season 2, the Maquis showed up. And season 3, this happened. In season 4, Worf shows up, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of season 4, we find out this thing. And I was like, oh shit, that's coming up real soon. In season 5, and it's like, holy shit, this whole series is about to end.
Yeah, there's some good shit. Yeah, there's some good shit.
It's about to just start like snowballing though with good shit.
I hope so. I love that's so hot. Excuse me. All right. Well, there's the show. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will talk to you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.